So the Panasonic GH line is basically legendary at this point. And after so many years of shooting with the Panasonic GH3, let's talk about whether or not the Panasonic GH4 is worth picking up in 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely kind of over seeing all the videos about, is this camera good in 2035 or whatever? And I feel like at this point in time, you really can't go wrong with any camera. If you're looking for a cheap camera, there's the Canon M50s and the Panasonic G7s. So part of me feels like that discussion kind of needs to die down. And more so, it just needs to be what budget camera is right for you. But I'm always really curious as to see just how far my dollar can go with some outdated gear. And I always kind of like to see what I can produce with cameras that aren't going to cost a fortune. So let's talk a little bit about what I think about this Panasonic GH4 from 2014. So the GH4 was a pretty seamless upgrade for me. It has the exact same body size as the GH3, takes the exact same batteries, and all the same accessories. And the only real usability difference is that when shooting in 4K, there is an additional crop. And so all of my Micro Four Thirds lenses just weren't as wide anymore. So that's why I opted to switch back to my Sigma 18-35 and Metabone Speed Booster combo. One of the things that I love about the GH4 is that the EVF is much bigger and brighter than my GH3 was. So with this Miller and Schneider loop that I had for my GH3, I can actually put it up to my eye and use it as an actual viewfinder, which I wasn't able to do with my GH3 because the GH3 viewfinder was a lot smaller and harder to see. The other really cool thing about this GH4 is that it can spit out a 10-bit signal out of the HDMI. And so when you pair it with something like an Atomos Ninja V, you get 4K 10-bit out of this camera from, again, 2014, and that's just insane. So that brings me to shooting in Cine D, which is another picture profile that I have now that I didn't have with my GH3. And it's kind of a flatter picture profile than something like natural, but the way I see it is it's kind of Panasonic's version of CineStyle, like you would get on a Canon camera. So it's not super flat like Vlog, but it's not super crushed like one of the natural or portrait profiles. Now I've actually spent some time grading and working with the Cine D footage now, and I've actually released a new LUT pack for Cine D on cameras like the GH4, the G7, G85, and I'll have a link to those LUTs in the description below. And I just want to say real quick, I know that my LUTs are pretty budget friendly, but I actually spent a lot of time getting the grades exactly how I like it. And the reason that I price them so cheap is just because I want them to be super accessible to you. So yeah, if you'd like to support my channel a bit, you can pick up those $5 LUTs for the Cine D profile. So the thing about the GH4 is that this was one of like 3 cameras that I was looking at as an upgrade to my GH3. There is the G85, which has in-body image stabilization, and it's around the same price used as a used GH4. And then there's, of course, the G9 and even the GH5. And so it really makes you wonder if getting a GH4 and then having to overcome some of the downfalls that the GH4 has. Like if you really wanted to shoot 10-bit, you would need a $600 Atomos Ninja V. And if you wanted wider field of views, you would have to get, a $600 Metabone Speed Booster and another $600 Sigma 18-35. So that's just one of the things that I've really been thinking about lately. The GH4 is an amazing camera, and I still really think that the GH line has just been a revolutionary line of cameras in the filmmaking world for such a long time. But my final thoughts with this camera is I feel like this is an amazing camera, even in 2021. And as to whether or not I'm going to keep it long term, honestly, I don't think that I'm going to keep any camera as long as I kept my GH3. I feel like the camera itself is such a small piece of the puzzle to me. I care way more about my lenses and my lights than I do about the brain behind it all, because I almost feel like any camera that's newer than a Panasonic GH4 is really good and will still hold up in 2021 and the years to come. Anyways, that was my quick overview of the Panasonic GH4. If you like this video, it'd be really cool if you hit the like button. And I don't ask this often, but please subscribe if you haven't already. Most of my viewers are actually not subscribed to my channel, so if you could just hit the subscribe button if you enjoy my videos, that would be awesome. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my videos, you can click on either side of my face. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.